So we got a fresh shipment of new projects in today. All these were purchased from Royal Tiger. I took advantage of some sales they had going on a while back and purchased all these, and they ended up pretty much shipping all at the same time. So got all of them today and laid them out, and we'll go through them. Basically, from the top down, it's a number 1 Mark III and a number 1 Mark III Star. The first one is the B grade, and the second one is an original grade. Third down from the top is a P14. Below that is a number 4 Mark I Star and a Savage manufacturer. And the one on the bottom is a M95 carbine with the 8x56 cartridge. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at them, starting with the top. So this is the B grade. Not really sure what made this one a B grade. Could be that there's some like marring here on the stock and the finish is kind of worn, but so far it looks pretty good. This one's a 1924 Ishapore. Safety feels a little loose. You can see a lot of the finish on this is gone. Especially with the way the finish is worn right here. This probably got wire wheeled. You can kind of see here on the wood where the wire wheel got into the stock. This one does have a slot for a magazine cutoff, though the magazine cutoff is missing. Looks like some dents on the bolt head here. It is interesting that for a B grade, the stock is complete here. A lot of times these are broken off. Wood all matches too. And the finish is pretty much gone in the nose cap. Go ahead and flip it over. Buttstock looks pretty good. Butt plate screws are pretty worn out though. Take those out, I'll probably have to cut new slots into them. A lot of missing finish here. This definitely looks wire wheeled. Looks like a lot of the finish is just rubbed right off. But the stock looks good. Moving on to the next number 1. Butt plate and the screws look good. Does look like there was a stock repair done right here. It's done at some point in its service life. This one is a 1918 BSA. It's a Mark III Star. Finish on this one is pretty worn as well. Not as badly as the other one, but most of it is missing. There also looks like there's some marring in the stock here, as well as it looks like some wear right here on the stock. Could possibly been from a wire wheel. A lot of worn finish on this as well. Stock and the screws like they're in pretty good shape though. Still see remnants of a marking there. And the nose cap is pretty much in the white. And look at the other side. See the other side of that stock repair. You can see a lot of the finish is missing here. Looks like there's a number here. I'm not sure if that's a rack number. It does look like there's a crack right here in the stock. This top handguard, the wood is missing on both sides towards the back. And you can see, definitely looks like some wire wheel marks right here by the nose cap. Running with the buttstock, a little bit of wear there around the butt plate. Doesn't look to be too serious. Looks like there's a Iraqi mark right here. It's interesting here in the stock disc. Finish looks to be pretty worn on this, but not as badly as the number ones. Seems to be okay here. There's lots of finish remaining on the floor plate. The RE mark. Go ahead and flip it over. Got the other side, looks to be okay. Some worn finish. It's got its volley sight. At least from first impression, this looks to be okay. Moving on to the number 4 Mark 1. Butt plate and the screws look like they're good. On the long branch I got, this little trap door here had been pushed in, but this one looks like it's okay. I don't see any visible damage on this side of the buttstock. Looks like a dent in the magazine. Not really a big deal. I do have a spare magazine I can throw in there. Dent right there. Looks like this one has a trigger guard for a number 5 instead of a number 4. Rail looks pretty good. Usually this is chipped pretty badly on a lot of these Savage and Long Branch manufacturers. It looks pretty good. Finish is definitely better towards the rear of the rifle than as you go forward. Stock looks to be sound though, without any cracks. A lot of worn finish here towards the end. I do see it looks like to be an S stamp here on the band. It's for the Savage manufacturer. Go ahead and flip it over. The other side, buttstock looks to be good. Looks like there's a number 4 Mark 1 stamp that's doubled. It's hard to make out right now, but that's a factory repair stamp above. When I clean this out, I'll be able to better read it. It looks like they put a new designation on there and potentially another serial number below it. I'll have to take a better look at it when I clean it. But it does look like it had a factory repair at some point. Stock looks pretty good. Definitely some hardened dirt or grease here. Overall looks complete. Moving on to the M95. So overall the M95 seems to look okay. There's a hole that got drilled here. Not really sure what that was for. Could have been for some kind of like sling or something, but I'll probably clean it out really well. Depending on if there's any wood rot, I might have to drill into a little bit, and then I'll put a hardwood dowel in there, cut one down to size, and then basically stain it and then finish it. and it'll look like it was just part of the rifle stock. Time I'm done with it. Butt plate looks good. The finish on this one's pretty good. The one I got earlier in another video, which was the 8x50, this one has that S stamp there. This one was converted to 8x56. But the other one I got definitely had way less finish than this one. This one looks like it's missing the adjustable sight piece there. It's kind of a shame. That's probably not an easy part to find. Stock looks good. I'll flip it over. Side of the butt stock looks pretty good. It's got this side swivel sling. There's the other side of the sling. It's got its stacking piece right here. Overall, this one's looking pretty good so far. So I'll take some pictures of all the bores. So overall, the boards look pretty good. I'm always a little nervous with some of the Royal Tiger purchases and what they'll look like. They all look pretty dirty, but they should clean up pretty nicely. So I'll do follow-on videos with each of these rifles and show you how the rifles clean up, as well as what their bores look like post-cleaning. So far, my thoughts overall is for the number one Mark IIIs up top, there really isn't much difference between the two of them to justify the extra cost between the two. I mean, at least in this example, they're both pretty close to each other. In fact, the original condition is the one that has the stock repair and missing wood in the stock. And I would argue that the B grade has a better bore. So, not really sure if that's just the way they grade them or if they're just sort of grabbing them off the same pile, but they don't really seem to be much of a difference between the two. For the P14, I'd say overall looks pretty good. The overall condition of it, as well as the bore, looks really nice, so I'll be looking forward to seeing how that looks when I finish cleaning it up. Number 4 Mark I looks pretty good so far as well. I'm glad to see that the rail on it isn't chipped. The 2 long branches I received from Royal Tiger before in previous videos, one was so badly chipped I had to send it back for a replacement, but they were pretty good about it. Their customer service was pretty solid, and they sent me back one that was definitely usable. And the M95 on the bottom has a pretty good bore and should be a good shooter. Just has a little bit of work to do cleaning it up and fixing that hole in the buttstock. But overall, I'd say these rifles are a pretty good deal still. There's still some decent ones left apparently in the pile. So if you're thinking about getting one of these, especially if they're on sale, I'd jump on it. They're definitely not getting any cheaper, and they do make fun projects to clean them up and restore them back to their original condition. So stay tuned. I'll be posting videos as I clean these up for each of these rifles. If you'd like to be alerted, you can go ahead and subscribe and sign up for alerts. If you liked the video, let me know in the comments what you thought about the rifles, about the video, and if you have any questions about these rifles, feel free to ask them below in the comments. I'll definitely go through some of the history and some of the markings on these rifles in greater detail when I do the cleaning up videos on each of them. As always, thanks for watching.